Hey everybody, let's look at how to do that midterm self-evaluation report. So, first we want a screenshot of our data that we calculated in our Excel spreadsheet or our Google Sheets. And we have 1 through 5 with data, 1 through 5. If you weren't able to get it to go calculate 1 through 5, then go watch the other video on how to remove time writing 6 from the graph. From this graph, we have our data points, our numbers. We also have our total number of words, which we want to see. And we can have a row of our percent of error. So, if I scroll down, number 2 and number 3 are saying, look at this chart and write 75 words on any trends that you see. So for example, I see in this graph that time writing 4, I really probably with 100 words didn't really know what to say, or I didn't plan, or maybe I got really excited and started just kind of rambling but didn't have much to say about the topic. And in that situation, I had a greater error rate. But what I also see is that even though that was sort of an outlier of my trend, overall, according to my red line, my errors are going down compared from the first one to the last one. So 17 is my lowest error rate. Awesome. I would type all that in here. How has your rating changed since the beginning? Why do you think that's happened? And what data supports that argument here? Let's take a look at the math that I want you to calculate. We're going to calculate the percent of change. Your graph is calculating the percent of change between the first timed rating and the last timed rating. But we're going to integrate the first 2 timed ratings and the last 2 timed ratings. You can use both of these as a guides of how much you're improving or not improving. The red line is interesting. So is looking at the first 2 and the last 2. Let's look at the math. If you see something in green, that is Sarah using her, if you see something in green, that's where you do your math. But if you see something in pink, that's where Sarah's used her data to create her examples. So the average of number 1 and number 2, get an average. The average of number 4 and number 5, get an average. We got those numbers here. There's A and B, A and B. What are yours? Now take B and subtract it from A. B minus A equals C. From C, divide by A. So there's my C divided by my A gives me D. And then multiply D times 100 to get percent. Multiply D times 100 to get a percent. If it's a plus number, that means that you have gotten worse. Your error rates have gone up. If it's a negative number, it means you have made improvement. Congratulations. So here's my example. I have increased my error rate by 3%. That's my E. So now I'm going to analyze why I think that happened. I'm going to explain that my time writing 4 was probably an outlier. So it looks like I'm not improving, but in fact, if I look at my first timed writings and all of my timed writings compared to my last time writing, I am clearly improving. I would write that here. Now go back through your error logs and decide what your first 2 time writings most frequent common errors were, and the last 2 time writings, what were the frequent common errors? Write them in here and we can see if they've changed. For example, in the beginning you had many capitalization errors, but you don't have those anymore, so we can see that that's been an improvement over time. Now, of these last 3 most common errors in the last 2 time writings, what are the specific ways you improved it and plan to improve on each of these grammar points? Finally, my improvement at midterm is positive 3%. So Sarah asks all of us to get to 50% improvement by the end of the semester. what is your personal improvement goal? Type that here and tell me a few sentences to explain how you plan to reach that goal in the next 2 weeks. Good luck, everybody. Thanks.